Hi, it's Gil. Welcome to Burkland Gardens. This week, just the other day, I got a shipment of plants in, and I'm going to share those with you. It's been a good week, and I had a visit from the new Western Region President of the Conifer Society, Vinny Grasso, and Larry Stanley was also up here along with Dave Helms, and we had a nice visit. And I've gotten back into the Conifer Society, so we'll be doing some talking about that. Maybe I can talk next and even doing some videos in Oregon. We'll talk about that, where we can visit some nurseries. And one of the nurseries might visit and do some filming, to get permission, is from Jason Hupp is from Western Evergreen, and the plants that we're going to unbox today are from Western Evergreen. He has a small retail site, but mainly a wholesale grower, and his product is just top notch. Right today, I have some 1 gallon, but they're most of them are what's called 1 year band plots. So we'll get into that, and then we're going to show a few things that Max does for me during, he'll take some plants home and do some styling, because his main focus is on the bonsai. So let's get started. I kind of was ordered all pines here. I think Pinus strobus, densiflora, which is Japanese red pine. So lots of different. So the soft pine. So this one is the one that sells, sells out on me. I'm just about out of the, and there's a number of different ones, but they're a dwarf size eastern white pine, Pinus strobus, and then mini twist is this one here, shrub-like, nice and dense, smaller needles, and then there's others like green twist and others, but this is the one that that I think stays most shrub-like, and people, when they just see it, they gravitate towards it, to that curly needle, the color, the fact that it's soft, fits most gardens, the smaller garden, and it does take pruning. So if it gets a little bigger than you want, you can either go in and take out, selected branches and reduce it. You can't shear them. You can get some browning on the tips if you do that. Doesn't necessarily hurt them. So one of the best sellers that we have. This plant right here. Let's see if I can get the plastic off of this one. It's a Pinus densiflora, the Japanese red pine. So familiar with Japanese black pines and Japanese white pines. It is a 2-needle pine. So a little bit stiffer, but not fairly soft. Extremely slow grower. It has a light, you wouldn't call it it's a light gold tone. It's between a green and gold, and just creates a shrub-like tree. It's about 5 feet tall and 5 feet wide at maturity. It just and it's outstanding. The foliage is outstanding. The buds show really nicely. So nice light brown buds that show through. So nice dense plant. Really, Pinus densiflora vibrant is that one. So this one I've talked about before. It's just one of my favorites. Pinus sylvestris, the Scots pine, that green penguin. These are all nicely wrapped by Jason and his crew, and boxed really nicely, labeled nicely. And this is the discovery by the nursery down in Amity, Oregon. They discovered it was in a seedling batch. Not at their nursery, but a nursery that they were working at, and they set it aside, grew it on. They have the original plant in their garden, and it's green penguin, slender, dense, 2 different size needles, the short and the long, and it's just an outstanding plant. The color is outstanding. The size is narrow. It develops a little bit of a bulge in it. It looks like that penguin, has that penguin look. My friends at Mr. Maple, Matt and Tim, they call it one of, an outstanding plant as well. So green penguin, got some of those. So here's one I haven't tried before. Pinus strobus blue clovers. This is actually a plant discovery in a seedling batch by Jason. And it's Jason Hupp down at Western Evergreen again, but he's got this plant in production. You can see a more mature one on his website. Even if you can go to his retail site, and there's not a lot of plants for sale on there, but then you can look at the photos too on his wholesale site. So blue clovers, it's going to be a dense, upright plant. The color is just outstanding blue. I can't wait to see a bigger one. I've seen pictures of his in his garden, and so I wanted to get some into my inventory and see if people are interested in that plant. So I was just, it has a slightly twisted needle as well, so it has some interest, kind of like the mini twists that the needles have a little bit of a twist, not as curly, but just a twist more than the curly aspect of the needle. And then I'm going to reach over and grab one of these Pinus strobus. I had some big ones, and I'm almost out of them because people, when they see them, I think most people, and I do, Pinus strobus Louis, really gravitate to it. It has a very nice gold tone to it, and it's gold throughout the year. Doesn't seem to burn. I've had mine in full sun, have not noticed any burn whatsoever. The one that you can see online at Isley Nursery, if you go to some of their videos, just an outstanding plant. They do shear theirs a little bit to keep it more compact, but it is a dense plant. It would be outstanding in any garden except for the very, very smallest. I know people have patio gardens and that, and they don't have room for trees to get bigger. So think of a small, medium tree, maybe even a little bigger, so eventually, but again, you can control that. So Louis is like an excellent plant to have in your garden. Pinus flexilis, Rocky Mountain pine, but again, a soft pine. They look somewhat similar in that aspect. They're five needle pines, and they're soft. And this one may be a discovery by. It's similar to Vanderwoost's pyramid, but maybe you consider an improvement on that. So upright plant with a nice blue color, soft needles, a nice addition to the plant. The color is outstanding on that, and there's just so many outstanding Pinus flexilis to Rocky Mountain pines that are available. Let's talk about a few plants that we haven't, off behind me here. And these are trees that Max takes home with him and works on. He goes through and finds some things that have some merit as far as the bonsai. So let's just see a few things that he's done recently. We've got some Hinoki cypress, and these are interesting. I've got 1, 2, 3, third one over there. These are particularly old plants that I got in Oregon from Nathan Miller, and he had gotten them back in 2007 or so. They had a production date of 2004. The cultivar names are South Park and Laxa, and they're extremely slow growing, and you can see they're in training, essentially a plastic pot that he's cut back and exposed the Nabari a little bit, and we'll get a closer shot of that as well. But the trunks are thickening up nicely, and they have a lot of foliage. Hinoki cypress, Chamaecyparis obtusa is what they are. Make a really nice tree, and they are used for bonsai. Different than the other needle trees, they have these sprays of needles that fan out, so they're more of a fan shape kind of a plant, but really an outstanding plant. And so these are for sale here at the nursery. Then he just takes things that might have an interest. This is just a really small miniature hemlock that we put in a pot. You can see it's exposed to the trunk a little bit, and a nice dense small needle, and lots of little buds on that. So that'll be nice for someone, entry-level person coming into bonsai that wants that wants that look. It can be cleaned up some more. And I don't have the name on this. It looks like a Pinus banksiana, but I can't quite tell. But really small needles, and you can see the wire that's on the pot here, and it's just holding some branches down. And it has a interesting look at it, on its own, but then you start to develop, the shape of the tree. So I really like that one. It's interesting. And then just a number of junipers. This one here is just in its beginning stage. Juniper procumbens, and so Max taught a class a week ago and 2 weeks ago maybe, and used the juniper procumbens as his demonstration tree, and people that came to the class were able to take that home with them after doing they did some wiring and repotting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then got a few Japanese maple. They've lost their leaves now. This one back here I air layered 4 years ago. It's a Shishigashira, the lion's head, and just a regular Acer palmatum, the green one. And there's another one over to the right, another Acer palmatum. And the very back there, kind of pointing at it, miniature Serbian spruce. And I don't have the cultivar name. It could be Liberic or one of those, but it's probably close to 20 years old. Max took that home, did some wiring on it, cleaned it up. I don't know if there's any gin on that one. I can't remember. So no gin on that one. Or you have a dead limb that you take the bark off of. Am I explaining it right?
Yep.
Okay. So I really like the looks of that one. So do you think that's the front of the tree, Max, right there? Or? Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of in some beginning stages, but I think with the already having small needles, and it is a grafted tree, but it would make a nice container plant, whether you want it for bonsai or even just have it outside in a nice little container. So that's what we have on the table. Just wanted to, just show these things, that what we do around here and what Mac's interested in as well. So thanks for watching. If you're able to subscribe, I really would appreciate it, and give us a thumbs up, and that would be great. Until next time, until next week, we'll see you later.